Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. We'll be looking at some stories in the world of sport, although we'll be starting with a review of what happened during the week. Well, a lot of activities during the week in the world of sport. And we just have to look at stories that actually trended during the week. Well, the biggest one has to be to do with when the election was conducted in Benin, where Ibrahim Gusau emerged as the president of the Nigerian Football Federation. Stakeholders have been advised at least to unite for Gusau to move Nigerian football forward. That's the first story that's actually trended during the week, because a lot of people are like, okay, we have a new person and a new board now. Who are the people that will be working? Would they be able to do it? Nigeria should unite. That's the first story we are looking at as at the time, because of the fact that Nigerians are waiting to see what Gusau will be offering concerning Nigerian football, and the entire executive board, the newly elected executive board, they are talking about Nigerian Football Federation. Now, well, that's the first story we're looking at as we are reviewing the week. NFF stakeholders must unite for Gusau to move Nigerian football forward. Looking at that story there. Well, as it is, a lot of issues concerning Nigerian football. Is it the age grade football? Is it the Super Falcons, Super Eagles, and all that? We just have to put our heads together to see how things can go well with Nigerian football. Well, in Benin City, Ibrahim Gusau emerged the president, and right now he's going around to see how we can get the best for Nigerian football. He said he will make an all-inclusive kind of board that everyone will have a say, and let's wait and see to see what's going to be happening concerning that particular board. Now, NFF, Nigerian Football Federation, has been marred with a lot of issues here and there, but hopefully we can get it right this time around when it comes to Nigerian football. Well, quickly, we'll be running through other ones that has to do with Africa Under-19 men's cricket qualifier, where it has been a big one when it comes to cricket in Nigeria, where Abuja right now hosting about 8 nations. They've been fighting for honors, but eventually the host have qualified for the finals of this competition. Well, good one, that's Nigeria. Nigeria was able to do well against Sierra Leone, as we won that game by 255 runs against Sierra Leone. It was a tough one, but Nigeria really came to the party and they did well. Nigeria, that 19-men cricket team, they've qualified for the final of the qualifiers, Africa Under-19 qualifiers, taking place in Abuja. And to let you know, that will be facing Kenya in the final that will be coming up today at the MK Abiola Stadium. Good one. They've done it 4 out of 4. They defeated Botswana, Rwanda, not forgetting Malawi. They also did so well. Well, good one for Nigeria, and right now they will be playing against Kenya, and we believe that they can also pick up the final game against Kenya by winning this particular tournament. See, looking at how it's going down during the week, we have to look at beach soccer. Beach soccer started just yesterday in Kebbi. Brini Kebbi, that's the place, and right now a lot of at least 4 teams are participating in Kada SC, not forgetting Badagry SC, that's this soccer club. You have to remember that we have Smart City Beach Soccer Club there also, and Kebbi, defending champion, they are also playing. Looking at the way the result ended, you look at the result of the big soccer, you have the team that actually won there, Kada BSC, they were able to win against Badagry 15-4. It was a huge goals for Kada, that's Kaduna team now, the Beach Soccer Club from Kaduna State. They've really done well by defeating Badagry BSC 15-4 there. 5-4 coming from Kebbi Beach Soccer Club defeated Smart City by just by 5-4. At least 1 goal separating the two. It was a tough one between defending champion versus Smart City. Well, just like last year, it's going to be between Kada and Kebbi. They'll be facing themselves today, while Badagry face Smart City in the southwestern derby there. That's how it's going down over there in Kebbi State. To let you have a feel of the Nigerian beach soccer, the season at least is ending, and they just have to crown the winner of this year big soccer. That particular sport is gaining momentum. These big soccer Eagles are back, and hopefully they'll be playing in Maputo over there in Mozambique for the African big soccer that will be coming up later in the year. Congratulations to all the teams participating in this particular competition. We have to go on a short break now, so let's have a feel of some local boxing or wrestling, want to call it that way. Let's enjoy some Dambe night.
Oh boy. What is this? You're right. No way class in There's gone. That's not fair.
Wow. Small body, big engine.
Like it was back on the head, ref.
This referee get action fast with the fight.
What body shot?
Red is waiting for that. Red is waiting for the perfect opportunity. You know. Never throw one punch.
Oh boy. See hand like mortar. These two, sorry. Wow.
Good one there. To let you have a feel of some Dambe night fight, at least. It's always very good when you promote our own. No one else will do that if we don't. Nigerian sport really needs to go places. We need to keep pushing it in whichever way we can. But in all media, just to make sure Nigeria sportsmen and women out there are given the credence, the credibility, the support, everything they need just to do what? Just to try to thrive in whatever they do in any sport. Good one there. Dambe night fight. And we just have to move on quickly. Let's talk about a lot of issues that have to do with Nigerian sport. Although before we be looking at the issue that has to do with Nigerian sport for this weekend, we talk about some NLO will be coming up. Although yes, NLO will be coming up this final. Two teams that qualify for the final of the NLO Super 8. We'll talk about that and some other matches for the weekend. Big one: Everton, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal. We'll talk about that too. But before then, that was last year. That's Daily Trust organized golf over there in Akwa Ibom, Uyo, where it happened that a lot of golfers across Nigeria, they came around to showcase their talent in Uyo, the capital of Akwa Ibom State. And a particular winner emerged for the women version. Ayo Ikpan is her name, and really she did well. When it comes to playing golf, we actually run after her and at least to get some a catch of how she played golf and how she felt concerning that particular competition organized by Daily Trust. Let's look at this.
Actually, it was real fun. There was no stress because all expenses were paid. Accommodation, feeding, the return ticket, and everything, even the cost. The caddies, the trolley I used, and everything was paid for. So it was a fun trip. Of a truth, I have to tell the whole world that I'm proud of Daily Trust. If other organizations like that can organize annual events like this that can bring out talents from people, like what they saw in me or like what Daily Trust brought out of me, because I think I played my best in that tournament. Because Ibom Golf Club is not a course you play with. It's the biggest golf club in Nigeria. Fantastic course. It's standard international golf club where you play with enough of energy, and for you to emerge a winner in that course, then you're wonderful. And to the glory of God, it was just God that made it, and I succeeded. And I'm proud of Daily Trust, and I believe that year to year they should not relent by putting up this tournament to see that I may not remain the winner for every year. Some other person might come up too, and I will be proud to celebrate that person, because that had been my spirit, to celebrate the celebrants. I advise the youths to come up, especially the female, to come up and play this game, because it's challenging. Anytime we go for international tournaments, you see that we are few, but you see the international ladies, bandits, solid players. It takes us the grace of God to challenge them. But to the glory of God, we've been coming out victorious. And I believe that Nigerian ladies should wake up, come play golf, be serious. The youth especially, let them play so that when we retire, they can be able to represent what we are representing. Winning means 100%, happiness to me, because it revives me back. It's like renewing my age anytime I win. So that's how I feel.
On there, so let's have a feel of some golfing. Well, Ayo Ikpan won the edition there. Now a lot of people are looking at what will be happening this year concerning that golf at its best. Talking about that particular sport here on 360 Sport. Now let's come back home and so we talk about Nigerian football. Well, the Nationwide League One is taking place, rather the Super 8 is taking place in Lagos. And the finalists are talking about Madiba FC, the battle Milantaki Care in the final. Both teams have done well so far. 8 teams actually fighting, but it remains 2 now. They'll be fighting for honors today at the Legacy pitch in Lagos. Well, as it is, the 2 teams are ready for this final. They will be getting the Champion of Champions Cup. Whoever wins between Madiba FC of Lagos and Milantaki FC of Abuja by 3 p.m. The 2 clubs will be fighting to see who wins this edition of 2022 Super 8 Championship taking place in Lagos. Well, I have in the studio Joseph Peter, who will be talking about all this. Let's look at this. 8 teams started this journey. You have the likes of El Kanemi. You have a lot of them actually fought hard to get this done. But from the way it is, it seems Madiba FC and Milantaki Care are the finalists. Personally,
I am a fan of Duma FC.
Okay, no, sorry, that's NNL. That's NNL. This is a Nationwide League One. Okay. This is Nationwide League One.
Oh, okay. This
FC Bede,
FC
Bede, Madiba FC, Milantaki FC, they were all there.
All right. Now, it's a good thing that the competition has been staged and it's at its final stage. Normally, coming from Abuja, I would support the Abuja Milantaki team to win the competition, to finally edge out the Madiba of Lagos.
What about if they are from Lagos?
Funny enough, my home is at Lagos, but I'll go with Abuja team, and I wish them success, and I believe that they can do it. To have gone this far is something, and they can actually upset those that are home and do the Abuja people proud.
Well, I call it the battle of the teams, Milantaki and Madiba. Madiba, I know that name comes from the Nelson Mandela, what they're about, and Milantaki also. But these 2 teams have really done well so far in this competition. They were able to hold their own against all the other teams that participated. Aspire FC from Anambra, you have Kun Khalifa, you have FC Ebede from Lagos. All of them participated in this competition, but it finally fell on the laps of the 2 because they fought hard. In fact, Madiba did not lose any match throughout, playing 3 matches, and were able to qualify for this final. And it's going to be a battle because the 2 teams really, they've been outstanding in this competition. So today by 3 p.m. they'll be fighting for honors, and let's see who carries the day between the 2 teams from Lagos and also from FCT. Is it the Center of Excellence or the Federal Capital Territory that will be winning this year's edition of the Champions of Champions in the Nationwide League One, the 3rd tier of Nigerian Football League? We're talking about that there. Now, to let you know that the Under-23 Eagles, the one we call Olympic Eagles, they will be camping in Ibadan. Well, the city where they will be playing at least ahead of the qualifier. They will be playing in the AFCON competition that will be coming up. And right now, to let you know that the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development has deemed it fit that the Under-23 Olympic Eagles will be camping in the ancient city of Ibadan, where they will be at least planning ahead of the AFCON, Under-23 AFCON. Well, Coach Salisu Yusuf has actually invited 32 of them, and these 32 will be in camp before the final pruning down to the normal 25 that will be playing the competition. But right now, the fear was that what will happen? No camp yet, nothing. And just were asking questions. But finally, we have a place. It's going to be at Lake Salami Stadium in Ibadan, where they will be training and they will at least get together before the final list is released ahead of the Under-23 AFCON.
It's the usual fire brigade approach by Nigeria. we are not surprised. I am not surprised, but at least, thank God, the camp has been provided, and I expect them to prepare well. If they prepare well, they will edge out Tanzania even away. So if they just calm down, do the right thing, train well, I'm very, 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 very positive that they will actually come out victorious. But it's not actually a good thing that a fire brigade approach is always applied to all our, in the aspect of, especially in the aspect of preparation when it comes to sports, any form of sport competition in this country. Usually I'm used to it always coming in late, but we need to change that, and I hope that the new NFF president will do something about that and actually cause a great change in that aspect when it comes to preparation, especially to football in Nigeria.
Well, Nigeria will be playing against Tanzania in the second leg, and at least we hope that our boys will do us proud. Olympic team, as we call them, under 23 AFCON, and we hope that Ibadan will actually favor them. Well, they will be playing at Ibadan there. So Charles Yusuf has deemed it fit to invite 32 players, and this side too will be pruned down to 25 for the final list that we're playing, and hopefully they will do us proud. Well, from there we talk about the big one that involved 3 clubs from Nigeria. CAF competition, CAF Confederation, CAF Champions League. It will be happening live on Sunday in 3 different centers in Nigeria. It will start from, let's say, from Port Harcourt, where at Adoki Amasiamaka Stadium in Port Harcourt, Rivers United will be playing against Wydad Casablanca in that particular game. A tough one, you can call it, because you know how good they are when it comes to football, defending champions. And you look at Casablanca against Rivers United, they just have to work hard to be able to perform against the Moroccans. They are very good when it comes to football. You just can't take that away. And also in Lagos, rather in Abuja, Plateau United will be playing against Experience of Tunisia. They'll be facing the North African team in that game. According to the coach of Plateau United, Electrical Fideli, say, well, he knows how good the Tunisian side are, but he will do everything possible to make sure MK Abiola Stadium, they will get beat there. According to Fidelis Ichiku, they will make sure they defeat Experience in that game. And straight down to Lagos, Mobolaji Johnson Stadium at Onikan Stadium there, they will be fighting, that is Kwara United. They will be fighting against RSB Bahrain, where they'll be facing the winner of the Confederations Cup, a big one there, and it's going to be a big fight. Kwara United versus RSB Bahrain of Morocco. So we have North African side to battle this weekend when it comes to CAF Interclub competition. Plateau United, Rivers United, and Kwara United in CAF Champions League, and also CAF Confederation. Remo Stars are out, but we still have 3 left, and hopefully the 3 can actually scale through. Well, we know it's going to be a tough battle between these 3 teams because 2 from Morocco, Wydad, you have RSB Bahrain, you have Experience of Tunisia. 3 of them are in Nigeria already. Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, where the 3 battles must be won, if I have my way.
You know, I'm very curious about the Esperance one against Plateau. That's going to be a very tough game. Usually, all these Northern African clubs are always being the leaders when it comes to African football, when it comes to club football in Africa. They have always topped and they have always toppled anybody. But I feel like this has to change. We have to change. We have to turn around this thing. We have to beat the whole 3 of them in our homes today and tomorrow. Whenever we're playing this game, I'm really, really hopeful that Plateau United will actually do us proud and edge out Esperance. The one I'm not too sure, but I hope for the best is the Rivers match against Wydad. Wydad are a strong team. Wydad are very strong, but I wish Rivers United good luck. And I know Rivers, they're actually good enough and they can do it. So I'm really, really staking on Rivers and Plateau United to win their matches.
So you're not staking on Kwara?
Kwara, I am not too sure. That's why I did not even mention it, because I'm not going there. Why is because I am not okay with the match being taken away from Kwara, where they would have actually gotten the best support. Yeah,
but the pitch, you know, a lot of things are put into consideration.
Yeah, I understand that the pitch is a problem. But would Lagosians...
Would they be playing on a bad pitch?
Yeah, that's actually our fault. The fault is on the side of the Nigerian team. But that's why I'm skeptic about it. I don't believe Lagosians will go and support Kwara in mass. They will. Let
me tell you this. I noticed something about sport generally. It doesn't matter if they are from Kwara, if they are from Congo or wherever. As long as this is within Nigeria, be rest assured that Lagosians, they love football. They will come out en masse to support Kwara United.
And I understand that.
Good. But in fact, the support Kwara United will get, I fear, because like Plateau United, I was there when they played against Sade Manji of Gabon. People came, yes, but it was still a bit scanty compared to the way Lagosians will go to that legacy pitch. It's in the heart of Lagos, through Lere. You rest assured that people will come en masse to support Kwara United, knowing fully well that they are playing against defending champion RS Bakane.
I understand that.
Good.
But I also understand that in Kwara, they would go the extra length. In Lagos, they may not go the extra length.
Of course, but the Lagosians will actually come out.
They will watch.
Population will help them. What matters most now, the footballers, all they need to do is to make sure, okay, make sure you are not playing for Ilorin now, you are playing for Nigeria.
Yes.
You are the only one remaining in that particular slot.
Yeah.
Now, play for Nigeria. Make sure Kwara United win this first leg, in fact, without conceding goals, because there's something about North African teams. They come to your home, they want to make sure they get a point. They want to score, because by the time they go, especially when they are playing away first, the first leg, they want to make sure they destabilize you in your home. By the time you come back to their home, they know they have that support. They know they have everything massive for them. So I implore this, using this medium to Kwara United, Plateau United, Rivers United, not to allow this very tricky North African side. They are very tricky.
They always come. They will try to get away with a point. If they can't get away, they will make sure that you don't score them much. That is, maybe it's a long goal, or they hardly
just
score.
Check the record.
They hardly concede 2 goals and not score, if you notice, when they come away. But we have to be really, really careful with that. We need to load them with goals, at least 3 goals each, if it's possible. 3 goals each, then go there and then defend well, or even maybe snatch a draw. You never can tell. But this is our opportunity now, and I really, really hope that both 3 teams will really put this to good use and actually do us proud and make us to go further in the CAF competitions.
The 3 teams now, I call them Musketeers. They will be fighting for Nigeria. Well, we just have to support them. If you are in Lagos, support Kwara United as they fight out against RSB Bakane. And if you are in Port Harcourt, come out en masse to support Rivers United on Sunday. And also, don't forget, in Abuja, just go to MK Abiola Stadium to support Plateau United as they fight against Esperance of Tunisia. They are very good side, yes, we know, but we can't do this. Is something that we can achieve if you support them. So the 3 teams will be fighting for honor in the first leg of the CAF Confederation and also CAF Champions League taking place this weekend before they fly out to the North African side to fight for the second leg. We wish them the best. Let's see how they play in Abuja here. That's the Plateau United. Where they faced Stade Manji, they were able to win that game. Let's have a feel of that particular match. Good one there. Plus United doing well against Stade Manji, and hopefully they will do well against Experience tomorrow as they play at the MK Abiola Stadium without conceding any goal. Well, we wish them the best. Now let's go international. Matches will be coming up in the top 5 leagues in Europe. We'll be looking at them, EPL, La Liga, Italia, and Serie A, not forgetting Bundesliga and French League on, and also some football gossip. Quickly, let's start with the English Premier League. Big one there. Matches for this weekend. Bournemouth, Leicester, Chelsea, Wolves, Man City, Southampton. You have Newcastle United against Brentford, Tottenham Hotspur against Brighton, and you have Crystal Palace against Leeds United, West Ham United, Fulham, Liverpool against Arsenal. Big match for Sunday. And also Everton against Manchester United, another big match for Sunday. Right now, let's look at Chelsea, Wolves. Chelsea, they were able to do well during the Champions League during the week, and now they'll be playing at home against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who right now, can they do it? They have their former player in the person of Diego Costa. What will Costa be doing against his former club, Peter?
Honestly, I expect this match to be a tough one. Reason being that Costa always has something to show. Costa always has a point to prove. He's the kind of a character that always wants to be in the headline. And also, the fact that Chelsea now are kind of in a reawakening, like they are resurrecting, like slowly. The new coach that came in, he has been able to, conquer AC Milan at home. It's a good thing. But looking at that match, they weren't really fluid like the way we expect them to be. Because if you look at the Chelsea team, they have all they need to actually be competing for the EPL, not just to be hanging around there and not knowing whether they are moving forward or backward. But thank God for the victory. I feel like the victory they had against Milan will kind of build their momentum for them to actually conquer and defeat Wolves. But I do not expect a lot of goals in that match. It's going to be a very, very tightly contested game, because Wolves are not the kind that you just open up either and just, although they're having injury problems, a lot of their strikers are out. Which is why Diego Costa is coming in. But Costa, even though aged, he's still a threat, and I'm sure that he will actually try his best to make a mark, because he always likes to be in the headline. However, I looking at the Man City game, the Chelsea AC Milan game, there's something I noticed. I feel like Koulibaly, the centre back of Chelsea, is not cool-headed. He goes into pressing without calculation. Sometimes he just does these things out of his head. And you know the kind of striker, the kind of person Diego Costa is. He might want to take advantage of that and cause a bit of fracas, which has always favored him whenever he did that. I'm expecting, the game is actually going to be a dramatic game. The fact that Costa is coming back to Chelsea alone is a big deal. Yeah, so it's a big deal. So I really, really expect that game to be keenly contested, but I'd predict a 1-0 to Chelsea.
A 1-0 to Chelsea coming from Joseph Peter there. Well, it's going to be a boisterous game anyway, because their former man, that's Diego Costa, is coming home to play against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It's been a while he has played there. Now he's going to be back. Let's see what he'll be offering. And now let's go to Leicester. Let's have our man Charles Ajua. If you are there, let's talk about some football as it's taking place in England. Well, Leicester City, we have a lot of Nigerians in that squad. You're looking fresh, man. The Leicester man. Okay, good one. Right now, what's the atmosphere like? Leicester, well, they'll be playing away, although you are in Leicester, but they are playing away. So I said with Nigeria, indeed, although we know he's injured, Iheanacho and the likes, before you talk about Chelsea, with your freshness.
Well, I think atmosphere is relatively good. They won derby against Nottingham Forest on Monday night, so it was really emphatic win. So you could tell the general feeling among the about the team and with fans is generally good. So yeah. Okay, now we've been talking about Chelsea versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, and according to Joseph Peter here in the studio, we're talking about the Costa, and he mentioned Koulibaly needs to work on himself, not so unnecessarily get jittery at times. And how do you see this game, Chelsea Wolves?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game, but Chelsea are
getting themselves back together, so to speak. Diego Costa coming back to Chelsea is always going to be something that will make headlines. And won 2 Premier League titles there. And following from what my colleague has said, I think Koulibaly, that's always been his style of defending. He's always been that proactive type of defender. And sometimes he gets away with it, sometimes not. So it depends really. But I think speaking purely about today's game, I think it's a game Chelsea should have the edge. Their morale is high from the win against Italian champions Milan, so it should be a good game, especially the fact that Wolves have injury problems themselves. Like Pedro Neto is out for a while. They don't have a manager. Bruno Lage was sacked recently. So Chelsea should reasonably see this game off.
Okay, well, you believe Chelsea will see the game off, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good one. Now, while we're talking about the English Premier League, we quickly need to look at the big one that will be happening. Although, before we get to that one, Everton, Man U or Arsenal, let's look at Manchester Southampton. It's going to be a big one also. Though at the Etihad Stadium, where you have the big man, Erling Haaland, scoring goal as if it's so easy, like I always call him. Manchester City, Southampton. Let me start with you, Charles. This game, a lot of people want to see what Man City will be offering because of the fact that they are so close, trying to upstage Arsenal, and this is another opportunity for them to go ahead by winning against against Southampton before Arsenal play Liverpool. And if everything goes well now, this might be the decider because if Man City are able to win this against Southampton, Liverpool-Arsenal is a match that you just have to be very careful to rate. Man City-Southampton, Charles.
I mean, you call it a decider there. I don't necessarily think it's a decider because, I mean, there are lots of games to go. But Pep Guardiola actually alluded to that, saying that Arsenal, I mean, everyone's raving about Manchester City and Erling Haaland. But if the matter of fact is Arsenal are at the top of the Premier League, Arsenal themselves are riding high on confidence from beating the Spurs last weekend. But again, this is a match, like I said, Erling Haaland's riding high, Man City are riding high themselves, just scoring goals for fun. Erling Haaland's breaking record here and there. So against the Southampton team that haven't kept a clean sheet since I think April, at home, this is a game that you actually do fear for Southampton today. Actually, this is one of them ones where you would not be surprised if you see the scoreline of 6-7 because Manchester City can be rampant on their day, and it's the kind of day where you don't put it past Man City to put that kind of scoreline against Southampton. So you do fear for Southampton.
Okay, you believe that it could actually run to where they have 6 goals, 5 goals, Manchester City, right?
I mean, it's possible, but then again, looking at it, Southampton did not lose to Manchester City last season. They drew both games, so it's either way. But with the form of Erling Haaland, you really do not see that type of thing repeating itself this year. I really see City putting Southampton to the sword today.
Good one there. Well, Charles, let's come back to why we're still having you standing by. Man City, Southampton, like he said.
You know, when you mentioned Man City, Southampton, the game that came to my head was the one of last season. Man City was not able to beat Southampton at all last season. They weren't able to do that. But that is so inconsequential now, and only one person made it inconsequential, and that person is Haaland. With Haaland in that team, I think it's going to be at least above 3-0.
Seriously?
At least.
What if they cage him today?
I don't think Southampton they don't have William Saliba.
Or, you know, like EPL style, easily after you play for some time, the defenders will just study you, and before you know it.
I think that happens after a season. They begin to plan you, and before
it's still
early. There are lots of them he hasn't met. He has the whole of the season to score as much goal. I think he's going to score over 40 goals, and he's going to do a lot of hat tricks, and he probably will be the first player to score 6 goals in a single match. There hasn't been that ever in the Premier League. And I have a feeling that Haaland will be that player that will do that.
This man, I call him the giant of EPL, is really going places, breaking record, bulldozing his way to win almost, to score almost goal, and breaking so many records set by Ronaldo, Messi. Is coming for them seriously, very, very fast. The Norwegian is really doing well for Manchester City, and we've been talking concerning that match between Manchester City and Southampton at Etihad Stadium. While we're looking at that, let's look at the biggest one for this weekend. Charles, you're going to agree with me on Sunday, a big one in London, Arsenal-Liverpool. That's the biggest one for this weekend.
Yeah, it's a clash of should I say clash of not necessarily clash of styles, but contrasting forms, should I speak? Because you see, Arsenal, like I said, Arsenal riding high from the North London derby or the beat Spurs last week. Liverpool disappointingly yet again dropped points. That's their fourth draw out from 8 games or for 7 games, is it? So it's really been a disappointing season. Liverpool have had players who are badly off form. Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Your midfield, they just can't seem to get their midfield right. It's really, even Mo Salah isn't scoring as you expect Mo Salah to be doing. Mo Salah usually comes out of the blocks flying at the start of every season. This season has been less so. So it's really interesting to see why Arsenal, like I've said, Arsenal are flying high. Reality of the day is Arsenal are top of the Premier League as it is. And it's one to see because, yeah, Arsenal have beaten Spurs, but it's against the North London derby, so form goes out of the window. Now it's against Liverpool. Liverpool, you expect a reaction from Liverpool after they dropped points at home to Brighton or Alb. And with Arsenal want to build on the North London derby and say, okay, make a statement that, okay, we're here. This is not Arsenal. I remember saying something at the start of this season on this program, saying that Arsenal, yeah, they're starting the season good. By February, they'll be down and they'll be not in that position anymore. So Arsenal are trying to make a statement here today saying, okay, we're here to stay. This is for real. And Liverpool are trying to say, okay, it's just a slump. At the end of the day, Liverpool have just drawn 4 games. They could go on a run of form. There's still 30 games to play. So they want to say, okay, from now, we'll have this run of form and actually challenge for the title. So it's an interesting one to see.
Okay, well, we're still coming back to you concerning the Arsenal match. I want to hear your view concerning the scoreline. Now, to you, Joseph. Yes, just talked about your club, yes, as an Arsenal fan. How do you feel about this game? It's a big one.
It's a big game, and I feel like this is a game that we need to make a statement. It's going to go 2 ways. Either Arsenal win this game and they are considered a serious title contenders, or Liverpool use this game to move back to momentum and start gathering points. I feel like there's just 2 ways about it. This is not a draw game. This is not a game that ends up in draw. This is a game that will bring out either the babies that used to be in Arsenal or the giant that we've all known Liverpool to be. But let me pull you back to something. Before the beginning of the season, we were here and I told you that Liverpool are not going to have a good season this year. And it was like I was just saying it. I didn't just say it. Why? Why I said that at that time was because Liverpool were definitely going to be affected by fatigue. They played every single game of last season. And looking at the age grade of their midfield, you would see that they are all kind of aged. From Fabinho to Henderson to the Keita and to Alcantara, they were all aged and they had a full season last season. And it's not as if there was time enough for a refreshing pre-season. You understand? So that was why I felt these people, they won't perform good as they did, as everybody thought or expected they would. And look at it now, into the season, injuries here and there. And then there's this cost of a 7th year.
Yeah, bring it down.
Yeah, it's the truth. In Mainz, it happened to him. The 7th season...
On Jurgen Klopp.
On Jurgen Klopp. On the 7th season, he faded away. The whole team was in disarray in Mainz. At Borussia Dortmund, it was the same thing. Now this is the 7th season at Liverpool and it's happening. No, but it's fact. It's fact. It's fact. No matter how much, maybe...
So already you are calculating that this is his 7th year with Liverpool, so it will happen to him too.
You know, I'm not banking. I didn't exactly bank on that. When I said this at the beginning of the season that Liverpool are going to go into this array, I didn't mention that 7th season.
But now you are mentioning it.
Now I'm only reminding you that is added to it. And then. Salah is not on form. Trent Alexander-Arnold is not on form. Van Dijk is not on form. Those 3 alone, out of the when they are deformed, Liverpool is bound to have problem. And now I'm not saying we are going to go into an easy game and win the game. I didn't say so. I only said that it's either we win and we become serious title contenders, which I don't think we're going to win the title anyway because of Haaland, or we get to lose and people now throw the the usual Arsenal this jab at us, and then we'll
call them babies.
And call them babies, and then we'll move to another to the next match. But I'm really hopeful that this match, Arsenal will take the day, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 score.
Do you agree with him, Charles?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be a tough game, like you said. There's so much riding on it for both teams, like we both pointed out. But when it comes strictly down to the scoreline, I'm sorry, man. I just have to believe same with Arsenal come here. I'm a traditionalist, so I think Liverpool win the game 2-1.
So from the way it is, what do you see as the scoreline between Arsenal and Liverpool? That game is going to be a huge one on Sunday.
Yeah, I said I'm traditionalist. I just think typical old Arsenal will come into play. No disrespect. I think Liverpool win the game 2-1.
Oh, Liverpool will win 2-1. And he is saying Arsenal will win 2-1. So
Charles was expecting the typical Arsenal. Charles, we've expected that typical Arsenal for maybe 3-4 matches back, and we are still not. What makes you so sure that it's this match that same old babies will show up?
No, I mean it depends. I mean, last week I expected Tottenham to show up, and Tottenham did not show up. Their final passes last week were awful. So it wasn't a Tottenham performance I expected. So yeah, Arsenal won that game again. Like I said, kudos to you. But this week, Liverpool have a lot riding on this game as well, because they need to bounce. They know if they lose this, that's essentially title over for them. That will put them way behind Manchester City and with the form Haaland is. So I think it's a must-win for Liverpool. Liverpool kind of need the points more than Arsenal, if that makes sense. So I just think Arsenal's frailties. I mean, it's a young squad. The veterans in the squad so far, Xhaka has been fantastic this season. He's had a lovely season, I must say. But I think Liverpool just have more than enough for Arsenal tomorrow. I may be wrong, but that's just the way I see it. I think Liverpool just have more than enough for Arsenal tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Charles, I have one last question for you.
All right.
Would you prefer the current out-of-form Van Dijk over William Saliba, the informed William Saliba? Who would you pick if you were to pick any of them right now, based on current form?
I mean, you're putting me in a tight spot there. I mean, like you're using current form, which is, I mean, it's very subjective. Van Dijk it's tough, but I mean, Saliba has been a better player this season, if I was to say that. I actually mentioned Van Dijk as one of the players who has been off form for Liverpool. So I think Saliba's had a wonderful first season with Arsenal, and yeah, he's probably the man of the moment, so to speak.
Because you picked Saliba, I will ask you one last question. The Liverpool front three, the current Liverpool, based on form now, current Liverpool front three, and against the Tottenham front three, which one would you pick?
Well, I see what you're going with. I'll answer your question. I'll pick Spurs because you have that Kane and Son chemistry. Liverpool have lost money, so there's that dynamic there. But one thing I would say is you have to take note of the little nuances. Last week, Spurs were really off it. I mentioned that earlier. Spurs, their final passes were just not clicking. Even the pass that led the build-up play to go that led to the penalty, that was a poor pass from Son to Richarlison. That should never have led. It should have been an easy chance. But yeah, I know where you're coming from. But again, Liverpool will probably have, I don't know, just a feeling. Let's see tomorrow. We'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Well, from the way it is, at least both of you, even though you support Liverpool to win 2-1, and the man from Arsenal is saying it's going to be 2-1 in favor of the Gunners. We wait to see what's going to happen. But before we go, our time is running out. Let's look at Everton, Manchester United. That's another game that a lot of people are looking at. Goodison Park is the place to be on Sunday. Who will win this game? We know how it's always been whenever the two teams actually meet. Charles, Everton, Manchester United.
Again, contrasting fortunes for both teams. United coming into that game after what happened to them last weekend is, I mean, they're hurting. You can see that. You can see that right from the 45th minute at the Etihad last season, United were hurting. So again, there is a game they want to come out to show response to that defeat, that resounding defeat, so to speak. But Everton themselves are building on. They had a rocky start, but now I think they're on a run of six matches unbeaten. Yeah, so they want to build on that. They know United are hurting. They were like, okay, guys, this is the chance for us to capitalize on this United frailties, mental frailties especially. So a tough one, but I think Everton just come out on top this weekend.
Okay, I believe that Everton will win the battle.
Yeah, Everton are not a team I'm really convinced because they're attacking prowess with Neil Mope so far. I've not been convinced. Well, I would say I have liked the start of the season from our compatriot Alex Iwobi. He's been wonderful to start the season. His form has really been something to write home about. So I think he and Everton in general will have just more than enough for United tomorrow.
Good one there. We had Charles from Leicester. Charles Adjua has been talking to us from Leicester, and at least he has talked about how he feels about the match between Liverpool and Arsenal. At least pitching his tent with Liverpool, while Joseph in the studio is pitching with Arsenal, the Gunners. We wait to see that tomorrow. Charles, I want to appreciate your time with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to be here as always.
Good one. Now, coming back to you, I just want just the scoreline. Everton, Man U, just the scoreline.
I think it's going to be a draw.
A draw?
Yes.
0-0 or 1-1 or 2-2?
I think it's going to be a 0-0 draw. Everton have conceded lesser goal. In fact, they have the best defense currently in the Premier League.
Good one there. Well, you just have to quickly look at some story before we wrap it up. Kylian Mbappe right now has been adjudged at least the man with the highest pocket. He will be the one to be earning much more money than others. Mbappe ahead of Messi, ahead of Ronaldo. For the past 9 years, he's the first person to do this. And right now, he has broken into that rank of being the highest paid when it comes to football. And also, we talk about, PSG are considering moving for Chelsea striker Aubameyang. They want to get Aubameyang to their fold. He plays for Chelsea right now, but right now it's interesting PSG to get the Gabonese striker to play in France. The same Chelsea right now, Chelsea are set to appoint Christopher Vivell as club's technical director. They want to get Vivell, who was sacked by RB Leipzig. 35-year-old Vivell could be taken over as technical director in Stamford Bridge, where that particular position has been a subject of discussion for a while. As Nottingham Forest, well, when news came out they could be sacking Steve Cooper, instead it turned around to be a blessing. Steve Cooper has been offered a new contract by Nottingham Forest for the fact that he was able to bring them to the EPL. They appreciated that and they offered him a new contract till 2025. So Cooper, justify yourself by working hard and making sure your team leaves the relegation zone. That's it on those some football gossip. And before we go, we'll be leaving you with this. Although, thank you, Joseph Peters. Good one. Some fixtures that will be coming up this weekend in La Liga, Serie A, German Bundesliga, and also French League One. That will be it on 360 Sport. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.